Oh man, this guy right here, Elon Musk, he has an ability unlike anybody else to wreak havoc via the bird. The only other person that I can think of that has rustled as many jimmies on the bird is Donald Trump. But of course, he was too powerful, so they had to get rid of him. But Elon here, he doesn't just want to use Twitter. He wants to buy Twitter, and he seems to at least be semi-serious about it. He sent an actual offer to buy 100% of Twitter. You can see it right here on sec.gov. 100% of Twitter for a total price of $41.4 billion in cash, which means that he's offering to pay $54.20 per share, which right now is above the current price, the current market price of Twitter shares, at least at the time of me making this video. So monetarily, it actually is a pretty good offer. But here's the thing about Twitter, and really all social media platforms, all big tech platforms apply to this, is that they aren't purely about making money, at least not anymore. Sure, they all started off as corporations, and that was their primary goal. They wanted to make a whole lot of money. They wanted to make more and more quarter after quarter, just like every other corporation. But the people that are running these services, these corporations behind Twitter, Facebook, Google, and so on, they've already got more money than a human being can spend in their lifetime. They've got more than most people could spend in 500 years. So what do? Well, they follow the advice of Scarface. First you get the money, then you get the power, and well, a lot of them actually don't even like women now that I think about it. So I guess that they just go and repeat step 2 indefinitely, gathering more and more power. And anybody who isn't blind can see this. Okay, there's certain narratives that just aren't allowed on Twitter at all. They're not allowed on Twitter, they're not allowed on YouTube, they're not allowed on Facebook, and every other head of the social media hybrid. And then other narratives, they are allowed, right? Some ideas are allowed, especially certain people's takes on certain ideas, and they get promoted to the front page on a routine basis. So you can see here on YouTube that I brought up, when you search for Elon Musk, all of the top search results are from news sites. So that might make you think, oh, okay, well, yeah, doesn't it make sense? A lot of people watch the news, right? Not really. I mean, let's look at these stats here. We got ABC News. They uploaded this video 4 hours ago and they got 3.9 thousand views. Today, they uploaded this 2 hours ago, 545 views. Okay, CBS Morning, 20,000 views in a single day, right? Seems pretty impressive, but not really by modern YouTube standards. Even I literally get more views on my videos than these news organizations do. And even if I was to scroll down further and further to try to find an opinion from somebody who's just a regular person and not a news organization, you can't find it. It's literally not on here. It's all news, and nobody even truly likes these. If you want to apply free market tactics, right? Whoever's the best rises to the top, then you should have things like, I don't know, maybe Moist Critical's video should be at the top, right? That's probably more people are going to him for news about current events than they are going to so-called verified news organizations. So what does YouTube do? Well, because they want to prop up mainstream media, they make all of the mainstream news organizations appear at the top. And this isn't just true for Elon Musk. This is true for basically any search query that has something to do with something that's going on in the news for the past few months. So everybody, they talk about the YouTube algorithm. You can see right here, this is manipulation of the algorithm. They're promoting these people who can barely get a few hundred views in 2 hours to the front page instead of people that make content like me because, oh, we're so harmful and dangerous. We might say something that's going to warp the minds of the youth. So you can only get our opinions if you subscribe with notifications turned on. And even then, suspiciously, notifications don't always work on YouTube. Now, ask yourself, do you really think that a company as big as Google that claims to have the world's best engineers can't make an RSS feed correctly? No, of course not. It's just more manipulation of the narrative. And, you know, this control of social media, it goes deeper than just benefiting certain politicians and certain people who like certain political narratives. It's really just about maintaining the status quo. That's what the most powerful people in the world really benefit from, is maintaining the status quo. Why do you think that Vanguard, one of the wealthiest financial institutions in the world, recently stepped up to announce that they own 10.3% of Twitter, making them as a company the largest shareholder instead of Elon, although Elon is still the largest single person shareholder of Twitter. You know, it's almost as if all of these people that are controlling media, social media, politics, and financial institutions are part of the same club, scratching each other's backs and maintaining the status quo. So what do I think is going to happen with all of this? Well, I don't know Elon personally. I don't even actually follow him on Twitter. But if I had to guess from the few tweets of his that I have read, especially having to do with this particular affair and things in the past about him being a free speech advocate and then other things that kind of make it seem like he's not. I think that what most likely will happen is that he's doing this to line his own pockets. Just like he did with his crypto tweets last year. Oh, I like Bitcoin, but then all of a sudden he realizes that Bitcoin is bad for the environment because it uses a whole lot of electricity. Although he never mentioned how a lot of that electricity was made and that that's the real reason why it was bad for the environment. But, you know, that's besides the point. Most likely scenario, I think, assuming that he is actually able to buy Twitter or assuming that he's not able to actually buy Twitter for the price that he's offering, is that he'll just sell the stock that he currently has. He'll make a quick few $billion and then just add it to the pile. I listen to enough rap music to know that some African Americans are very good at flipping birds for profit, if you know what I mean.
Whip up and serve you a pigeon.
So I think that first scenario is the most likely. Second most likely scenario, if he buys, is that he buys Twitter primarily for the lulz. And honestly, just his offer right now to buy Twitter is actually making certain people seethe so much that I've actually had a good chuckle at this so far. Maybe I'll include some screenshots from these different tweets that I've seen that are so hilarious and posts. So lulz are already being had, but Elon could do a lot more, okay? He's supposed to be the internet's biggest meme lord, right? Well, I think the funniest thing that he could do is unban Trump from Twitter. And I guess he could also unban a lot of other people that generate salt. But Donald is the main person that comes to mind because, like I said earlier, he wreaked absolute havoc on the bird over basically his whole tenure on Twitter, or the whole time he was on Twitter. And if Trump's first tweet is something like, "Thank you, Elon, very cool," or just simply, "I'm back," that would be hilarious. That right there, that tweet, someone should make an NFT of that tweet because it is going to be the best meme, the best joke, the best tweet of this decade. So Twitter going back to, I don't know, I guess like 2016 Twitter seems somewhat probable, which admittedly is better than the Twitter that we have in today's day and age, but is still not going to be a free speech platform if it's like Twitter circa 2016. Scenario 3, which I personally think is the best. It's actually the one that I really want to happen, but I also think it's the least likely, is that Elon actually turns Twitter into a free speech platform. And I mean truly free speech, which means no banning people or no suspending people's accounts, no making it so that they can't tweet or they get shadow banned for criticizing Elon Musk and his various products from his various companies, which would then include Twitter itself, since he wants to buy Twitter and then make it private. You know, some of you guys might not know about this, but Tesla fired John Bernal, who runs the YouTube channel AI Addict, for doing just that, for criticizing Tesla and its full self-driving software. And they also took away his subscription to that full self-driving software, which John had to pay for with money out of his own pocket. Maybe he got an employee discount back when he purchased it. I don't know, but that is a pretty shitty thing to do. And I know that the Elon Musk simps are going to say, "Oh, but he violated an NDA. Employees can't fire you, or employers can fire you for talking shit. There's nothing illegal about that." Yeah, you're right. Okay, what Elon or whatever the HR person that's working below him that actually went through this firing process and said that he was guilty of breaking some company rule, that's not illegal to do. But it was shitty, especially when you actually watch AI Addict's videos and you realize that most of these are not even actually critical of Tesla or full self-driving technology in any way. Like, it's basically just him recording the driving, and then while it's happening, he's talking like, oh yeah, that was a good left turn that it made. Oh yeah, that was a really good right turn that it made. Oh, that turn right there was a little bit wide. I mean, that was probably part of the reason why a lot of these don't have a whole lot of views, because it's very technical, okay? It's not flashy. He's not sitting there like, oh man, Tesla fucking sucks. I'm sitting here in a death machine. Let me go ahead and start writing my will right now because it's only a matter of time until this slams me into a brick wall or it parks me right on the train tracks. I would say that AI Addict probably makes some of the most objective reviews of this technology that are available on YouTube. And it wasn't until probably this video that he made here, because I think he was fired about a couple months ago, where he does the Tesla full self-driving crash, where he crashed into some of these little poles on the side. So yeah, they see that and they're like, oh, shut it down. Or at least fire him. Obviously, they didn't get his YouTube channel shut down, but they fired him and they took away his subscription. Why? Because he showed an actual problem with the software. And it's also not like this is anything super proprietary. I mean, the source code is obviously proprietary, but it's not like he's using a version of it that isn't available to the public, okay? He's not releasing any company secrets here. Like, he was literally just fired for criticizing Tesla, and I think that that's a pretty shitty thing to do. So hopefully, if and when Elon goes ahead and buys Twitter, he's in more of a hand out satellites to people in Ukraine and other countries that are getting their internet shut down by Russia so that people can still access the internet, and also not censoring any Russian misinformation because he's a free speech absolutist. Hopefully he's in more of that mood than a fire this employee for blaspheming against the almighty Tesla. We'll just have to see. But I gotta send my deepfake off to go complete some other tasks, so go ahead and like and comment this video to hack the algorithm and subscribe to me on Odyssey. Have a great day.